In the dim glow of my gaming room, the eerie hum of the computer echoed as I delved into the virtual world. Little did I know that the pixels on my screen would blur the lines between the digital and the tangible, leading me into a horrifying encounter that would haunt my nights. It started innocently enough. A mysterious game surfaced online, whispered about in hushed tones among the gaming community. No one knew its origins or developers, but the allure of the unknown drew me in. The installation process was peculiar, demanding access to personal data and a chilling disclaimer that read, "What happens in the game may transcend the screen." Curiosity overpowered skepticism as I delved into the virtual realm. The game, Spectre's Enigma, presented a desolate landscape cloaked in perpetual darkness. The objective was unclear, and an unsettling silence pervaded the air. As I navigated the desolate corridors, an unseen specter seemed to accompany my every move. Whispers lingered in the virtual shadows, and the pixels on the screen took on a life of their own. Unnerving, but not yet horrifying. Things took a turn when the game began to mirror reality with disturbing accuracy. The game knew details about my life that I had never shared online, personal experiences, fears, and secrets. The boundary between the digital and the tangible blurred, and a cold sweat coated my palms. The Spectre, an elusive entity in the game, manifested eerily familiar shapes and shadows. It mimicked my movements, anticipating my every action. Sleepless nights ensued as the line between gameplay and reality became increasingly blurred. One evening, as I delved deeper into Spectre's Enigma, an in-game character echoed a phrase I had uttered in private, a secret I had never shared. Panic set in as the realization dawned. The game was watching, listening, learning. My virtual avatar, an extension of myself, no longer felt like a mere collection of pixels. It became an instrument of horror, reacting to the Spectre's whims with a mind of its own. The game seemed to feed off my fears, escalating with each passing level. The climax came when the Spectre breached the screen, its digital tendrils stretching into my reality. My room plunged into darkness, and the whispers of the unseen entity echoed through the shadows. My heartbeat synchronized with the ominous rhythm of the game. In a surreal moment, the Spectre materialized before me. No longer confined to the virtual realm, it stood as a grotesque amalgamation of pixels and shadows. The air grew colder as its presence seeped into the room, and a suffocating dread enveloped me. A distorted voice emanated from the Spectre, recounting intimate details of my life with eerie precision. It held a mirror to my deepest fears and regrets, paralyzing me with a psychological horror that surpassed any jump scare. It wasn't just a game, it was a manifestation of my innermost demons. I attempted to exit the game, but the Spectre's hold on my reality remained unyielding. The boundary between the virtual and the tangible had collapsed, and I found myself trapped in a horror narrative of my own making. Days turned into nights, and I became a mere puppet in the Spectre's twisted performance. It reveled in my torment, orchestrating a nightmarish symphony that played out in the confines of my gaming room. Sleep became elusive, and the Spectre's whispers echoed through the corridors of my mind. As I write this account, the Spectre lingers, a constant presence in the shadows. It serves as a chilling reminder that the horrors we face in the virtual realm can transcend the screen, infiltrating our reality in ways we cannot comprehend. Beware the unseen specter that may lurk within the pixels of your favorite game. The line between fiction and reality is a fragile one, and once crossed, the horror that ensues may leave you questioning the very fabric of your existence. The ambient glow of my gaming console bathed the room in a soft light as I delved into the digital world. Little did I know that what started as a routine gaming session would spiral into a nightmarish ordeal. The game in question, Inferno Realms, was known for its immersive horror experience. Hours slipped away as I navigated its haunted landscapes, my senses ensnared by the eerie atmosphere. Unbeknownst to me, the malevolence lurking within the game was about to transcend the pixels and invade my reality. As I ventured deeper into the digital realm, a foreboding glitch disrupted the experience. The screen flickered, pixels distorted, and a surreal unease settled in the room. Ignoring the ominous signs, I persisted, lost in the haunting corridors of Inferno realms. Suddenly, a jarring sound erupted from the console, a guttural mechanical growl that echoed through the room. Panic set in as the console emitted an acrid smell and wisps of smoke curled ominously. With a disconcerting realization, I understood that my gaming haven had become a breeding ground for a more tangible horror. In a desperate attempt to avert disaster, I hastily unplugged the console, hoping to quell the malevolent sparks within its circuitry. Yet, as the cord detached, the console erupted into flames, a fiery manifestation of the virtual horrors that had taken residence. I staggered backward, the room now tainted with the acrid scent of burning plastic. The flames licked the edges of the console, an inferno born from the digital world. Panic surged as I fumbled for a fire extinguisher, my heart pounding in rhythm with the crackling flames. The fire extinguisher hissed to life, a brief reprieve against the encroaching blaze. Beads of sweat formed on my forehead as I sprayed the foam, desperately wrestling with the realization that my virtual escape had metamorphosed into a tangible nightmare. The flames danced in defiance, their sinister glow casting grotesque shadows on the walls. Smoke billowed, seeping into every crevice like an insidious specter. Panic escalated as I realized the fire threatened to engulf more than the console. It hungered for the very structure of my reality. Frantically, I dialed 911, the operator's voice a lifeline amid the cacophony of chos. Flames continued to claw at the room, a relentless force fueled by a convergence of the virtual and the tangible. My home, once a sanctuary, now bore witness to a malevolence turned corporeal. As the minutes ticked away, the distant wail of sirens grew louder, a harbinger of salvation. Firefighters rushed in, their protective gear a stark contrast to the surreal scene that greeted them. The console, now a charred relic, stood as a testament to the havoc it had unleashed. The firefighters battled the flames with methodical precision, their efforts quelling the inferno that had threatened to consume my reality. Amid the chaos, I found myself standing amidst the remnants of a horrifying intersection between the virtual and the tangible. As the smoke cleared, my gaze shifted to the remnants of the once menacing console. The digital horror had morphed into a fiery cataclysm, leaving behind a current reminder of the unsuspecting terror that can emerge from a seemingly innocuous gaming experience. In the aftermath, as the firefighters packed away their equipment, I couldn't shake the haunting realization that my sanctuary had been violated by a malevolent force. In the dim glow of my gaming setup, I stumbled upon a virtual enigma named Abyssal Nexus. Intrigued by its elusive origins, I dove headfirst into its abyssal depths, unaware that the pixels on my screen would soon usher me into an unnerving journey that defied the boundaries of the gaming world. Abyssal Nexus presented an otherworldly landscape, its digital vistas both captivating and foreboding. The game's narrative unfolded in enigmatic whispers, drawing me into a mysterious realm where reality intertwined with the virtual. Little did I know that the game's dark allure concealed an unsettling secret. As I delved deeper, subtle anomalies manifested. The game echoed details from my own life, a room layout recreated with eerie accuracy, pixelated renditions of familiar objects, and the haunting inclusion of personal thoughts and fears. I dismissed these peculiarities as mere coincidences, attributing them to the intricate design of the game. The turning point came when the protagonist of Abyssal Nexus encountered an elusive entity known as the Cryptic Spectre. A shiver ran down my spine as the character's journey mirrored my own, an entity that seemed to possess an intimate knowledge of my deepest secrets, fears, and regrets. The Cryptic Spectre materialized within the game, its presence a sinister harbinger of digital dread. Pixels pulsated with an unnatural energy as the entity guided the virtual character through eerily accurate reconstructions of my daily routes. It was as if the game had transcended the boundaries of the screen, mapping the coordinates of my reality. One fateful night, the narrative took a dark turn. The Cryptic Spectre beckoned the protagonist towards a pixelated representation of my home. The digital realm and my tangible reality collided, and a surreal convergence unfolded. The abyssal depths of the game echoed with malevolent intentions, plotting a disturbing fusion of the virtual and the real. As the protagonist stood before the pixelated version of my home, the cryptic specter manifested with a sinister grin. Pixelated tendrils reached beyond the screen, and an unseen force seemed to permeate my room. The line between the digital and the tangible blurred, and I felt an unsettling presence that transcended the confines of the game. In a nightmarish twist, the cryptic specter orchestrated a convergence of realities. Pixelated landscapes merged seamlessly with tangible spaces, creating a haunting amalgamation of the virtual and the real. The protagonist's fate became entwined with my own, and the echoes of Abyssal Nexus resonated with an otherworldly resonance. Terrified, I disconnected from the game, leaving the echoes of the abyss behind. The cryptic specter lingered in my thoughts, a haunting reminder of the game's power to unravel the fabric of perception. As I pen this account, the boundaries between the seen and the unseen remain malleable, a testament to the enigmatic allure of the gaming abyss. Abyssal Nexus served as a chilling reminder that pixels can transcend the screen, leaving us to question the very nature of our reality. Support the channel, please like and subscribe.